Hey guys, welcome back to another one of my videos where I show you how to make delicious treats at home. Today I will be showing you a recipe of carrot cake with a lemon curd twist. Stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Get ready and let's go. So we are starting off with the cake, and for that you will need 110 grams of sour cream, 70 grams of pecans, 170 grams sugar, 300 grams of grated carrots, 1 egg, some baking soda and baking powder, a couple of spices, 90 grams of applesauce, 100 grams of oil, and finally 200 grams of flour. So you want to grab the sour cream and let's start by mixing the wet ingredients. You can pour the cream and applesauce as well as the oil all at once in the same bowl. After that, you can pop in the egg and get mixing using a whisk until everything is well combined. You want to set that aside and move on to the dry ingredients. So grab another bowl, start by pouring the flour and sugar. You can add in the baking powder and soda, and add in all the spices all at once. Then come the chopped pecans. You can also use walnuts here, of course. And after that, you can add in the grated carrots. You can mix that with a spatula until it starts to look well combined. And now, let's mix both. You can pour the wet ingredients over the dry ones and start folding them using a spatula. And basically you do this until it's all incorporated. You can set the batter aside and start by preparing the mold. So just grease the mold with some butter on all the sides and cover those with some parchment paper cut to the same size. You can pour the batter in the mold and preheat the oven at 180 degrees C or 360 F and bake for 40 minutes or until a toothpick comes out dry. You can let the cake cool in the mold and get it out and place it on a wire rack to cool some more. While the cake cools, we can move on to preparing the frosting. So for this you will need 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, 113 grams of cream cheese, 250 grams of icing sugar, 55 grams of soft butter, and finally a pinch of salt. Let's start by pouring the soft room temperature butter into a bowl, and then using an electric mixer you can mix the butter until it becomes lighter in color and close to white. While doing so, you might want to scrape the edges of the bowl to get all the butter in. You can then add in the cream cheese and keep mixing with an electric mixer until the frosting starts to look homogeneous. You can add in the salt and the icing sugar and keep mixing. You can start with a low speed and then work your way up to a medium speed. Of course, the icing sugar here can be added in 2 batches, so the mixing process is smoother. You can use a spatula to scrape the edges and help with the mixing if you feel like it. Adding the cornstarch little by little, the cornstarch helps give a stiffer consistency to the frosting so you can pipe it later easier. Once the frosting is smooth and the cornstarch is incorporated, you can pour half of it in a bowl, and this is going to be lemon flavored, so you can add in half a teaspoon of lemon extract and mix it into the frosting. You can also add some yellow food coloring, but just a little bit to keep a light color. Mix that well until you're happy with it, and cover the frosting with some cling wrap on the surface and pop that in the fridge while we proceed with the rest of the recipe steps. For the remaining part of the frosting, we are going to do the same, just with a vanilla flavor. So you can cover that with cling wrap as well, touching the surface, and place it in the fridge while we prepare the lemon curd. So for the lemon curd, you want to start with a pot in which we pour some lemon juice, and with that, we add in some heavy cream. On the side of that, we want to mix the agar with the sugar, and we want to mix the cornstarch with some water until that is all smooth. Once that's done, we want to pour that in the same pot as previously, adding in the sugar as well and whisking well until it's all combined. You can place it over medium heat and keep stirring with a spatula until the lemon curd starts boiling and becomes denser. Make sure to keep stirring, otherwise it will stick. To give it a brighter look, you can add in some yellow food coloring, but that is optional. Mix that well and incorporate the butter while stirring continuously until it's all melted. Pour the lemon curd in a plate and cover that with cling wrap touching the surface. This needs to sit in the fridge for at least 30 minutes before we can pipe it over the cake. Now moving on to the assembly part, you can grab the cooled down cake and using a bread knife or a cake leveler, you can cut the cake in the middle. Make sure the cut is even so that the end result looks symmetrical. You also want to make sure to lift the upper part of the cake very gently. So get the lemon curd out of the fridge and place it in a piping bag. You can use a round piping tip if you'd like, but that's optional of course. You can handle the curd a bit with your hands to smoothing out, and then simply apply a generous layer of it on the inside of the cake. You can smoothen the curd using a spatula or an offset spatula, and you can also smoothen the outer edges before placing the top layer on the cake. Once it's on, you can still adjust it a bit before it sets. Next up, it's frosting time. You want to get the frosting out of the fridge and into a piping bag, and pipe a few bits of vanilla frosting first. Make sure you leave out some of the space for the yellow frosting as well. You can go ahead and do the same for the yellow frosting. So take it out of the fridge into the piping bag and fill in the remaining space on the cake. Now for this application, I chose a star piping tip, but you can choose any other type of piping tips and patterns that you prefer. To finish the cake off, you can sprinkle some lemon zest and put a lemon slice on top. If the weather is hot, make sure you keep the cake in the fridge so the frosting doesn't melt. No worries, the cake doesn't have any butter, so it will remain moist even in the fridge. Hope you guys like this video. Let me know if you have any questions. You can also let me know in the comment section what recipes you want to see next. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to be the first to see my next recipes. Thank you guys for watching. See you next week. And as always, bon appetit!